We're at the Weta Workshop and we're talking to Leri Greer, who was the art designer on Ghost in the Shell. Tell me what your work was like for this movie.
It was exciting, number one. It was really, really exciting. I was a huge fan of Ghost in the Shell, loved the mangas, and then the 1996 film that they made of the mangas just blew my mind. So yeah, it was very, very exciting. And I'm an art director, and as an art director, absorbed all the material again, reabsorbed it, and then embarked on the journey with the director and the production team. Yeah.
Tell me where you're from and how you got involved with Weta.
Sure. I was an Army brat, so caveat that right there. But so moved around all over the place, all over the world. But I guess California, probably Northern California, is where my extended family lives. So yeah, just north of San Francisco and Sonoma. And I went to school for printmaking, believe it or not, but got into internet web design, and then, as luck would have it, a friend of mine already got work here, and he got me work here at Weta Workshop. Yeah.
Had you ever thought when you were a kid that you would like to get into filmmaking?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I was basically one of those kids that sort of saw Star Wars and fell in love with it and thought, yeah, I don't know what that is, but that's what I want to do. For a while, I thought I wanted to be a director. I went to film school for a little while, but I could always draw and paint as a kid. It was something that was one of my interests. And so when I actually started to think about being in film, I actually started gravitating more towards the art side of it, like constructing scenes and color theory and composition and those kind of things. So yeah.
You've been a concept designer on other movies like Avatar and Elysium.
Mm-hmm.
What is the difference between that and what you did on Ghost in the Shell?
Really, it's just more experience, and the techniques are improving. The funny thing is with high def coming along, we can hide. It's really hard to hide things now. Back when cameras were a little bit blurrier, you could get away with so much more. And so oftentimes, really what we're doing now is we're in this fight to make everything almost as real as possible. So especially here at Weta Workshop is, you know, when you see robots, we're making robots or we're making anything, it's almost like you're actually looking at an actual, real, honest-to-goodness manufactured item, not a prop. And that's, yeah. So that's been really the biggest challenge going from the past to now, is just how much further we have to take things when we get them on screen.
How much did you rely on the original source material for your work on this film?
Oh, a ton, absolute ton. You know, the source material is so rich and amazing that really all the answers we needed were right there, and that's just a godsend, really, because when you have that to start from, you're only going to basically improve upon it. So yeah.
And this movie looks like it was so intricate to make. I mean, when I watch it, I'm like, how on earth did they do all these special effects?
Yeah. What
was the biggest challenge in bringing this to the screen?
I guess really it was that. It was like basically, you know, when you're making a film, you can make it look like anything you can kind of imagine. So really the biggest challenge is just initially kind of honing down, like how are you going to make the look of this film out of all the various choices? So that's usually the hardest decision, and I think in this case everybody did a bang-up job. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was fantastic to watch. As the art director, are you ever on set?
Oh yeah. Well, if the production is in town, so we have studios right up the road, and we try to spend as much time up there so that we're in lock sync, because, you know, as the concept design team, the art director, and the pre-production, you know, we are in service to the greater good, and that is the film. And the best way to be in service to that is to have everybody in the same location, everybody talking, everybody communicating, so everybody's heads are going the same way. So yeah, anytime we can actually get on set, we're on set. Yeah.
Do you work directly with any of the actors in the film?
Yeah, we did. We worked with actually pretty much all of them, because it was such a prosthetics-heavy film. So there was a lot of applications of prosthetics and costume and stuff. So they came down to workshop for costume fittings, for prosthetic fittings, and all that. And then we had Michael Pitt, who plays the Laughing Man in the film. was really fun because he's quite an enthusiastic person. I don't know if he's a method actor or what he might be classified as an actor, but he was really, really into the role and really wanted to talk with us as the artists who were sort of coming up with his costume. And he did some drawings himself, and we were able to kind of interact, like incorporate his drawings onto his costume, stuff like that. And that's really what you want. You want, you know, like making movies at the end of the day is a business, but it's really fun when you get people that come in and they're still enthusiastic about what they're doing as an art. And so, yeah, so like working with Michael Pitt and just the fact that he was really into it just made us feel like, yeah, we're really into this too.
It's interesting to hear that because he really stood out in the film. I'd never seen him in anything before, I don't think. And he was just incredible.
Yeah, he just really brings it. Yeah, he's very, very powerful. And he's just a very passionate person in real life. And I think that shows on screen. Yeah.
And I have time for one more question.
Sure.
What's next for you?
We're working on all kinds of fun stuff. We've got something like 12 different projects in the pipeline. Unfortunately, I can't name any of them because we are a service provider, and so I can't even give the fun little hint. But I will say that one of the movies we're working on is so big that normally I'm a clean-shaven person. So that lets you know that in the mornings, the movie's so big, I don't have time to shave. So anyways.
Okay, thank you so much for talking to me today.
You're quite welcome. Thank you, Alexandra.